Hello friends, how are you? I hope you all are fine. Yeah, last time when I have taken your Zoom session, I have started with lesson 1 and we have discussed the first topic, that is what is difference between system software, application software, and we have also discussed the operating system. Today, as this is a recorded session, I will quickly revise that what we have done in first lecture, okay, and I will continue with the topic then. So as you can see in screen, this is lesson 1, operating systems, graphical user interface, their roles and functions. Okay. So this was the second screen we have discussed about. Computer is divided basically into hardware and software. Hardware is further divided into internal and external hardware. So internal hardware are those components which are present inside computer, inside CPU. Okay, for example, motherboard, RAM, ROM, different chips. Okay, they are internal hardware. Then what are external hardware? External hardware are those components which are connected outside the CPU. Okay, for example, keyboard, mouse, printer, scanner, all those are external hardware. So hardware basically are the things, are the devices or peripheral devices to which we can touch and feel. Okay, as we have hardware, the next important thing in computer is a software. Software is nothing but the instructions given to the computer. A computer is an idiot box and it cannot do anything of its own. So software can be divided into system software and application software, right? So system software are those softwares which are already present in the computer. Okay, they are the background platform. They act as a background platform for the applications which we make. And application software are the software which we users are making to solve our problem. Okay, so in next coming slide we will discuss about it more deeply. So our syllabus, what we are going to cover, that is operating system is a system software. So just go through this diagram. There are three important layers in this diagram. The core layer, the inside layer is of hardware. Hardware means peripheral devices like CPU, disk, mouse, printer, keyboard, etc. So this is the base layer. Now just imagine that you have hardwares in front of you. Can you work on that hardware? You can work on hardware only if it has system software in installed on that. Okay, so hardware has a layer of system software. So these are the system softwares: operating system, utilities, language processor, device drivers, all they are system software. So in hardware there should be system software installed. Then and then only you can use application software. I will give you a very good example. When you buy a phone, for example, you are buying an Android phone. In that phone, Android operating system is already present, because of which you can make use of different apps like WhatsApp. Maybe you can play different games on that. Okay, so this three layers: hardware, system software, and application software, this completes a system. Okay, if system software is not there, you cannot execute your applications on hardware. Okay, so this layer should be in this same fashion. Okay, this we have studied. Now what is difference between system software and application software? We will just read out the points. Very first, system software which provides a platform for user interact with hardware of a computer is known as system software. Okay, so system software, as you have seen in this diagram also, system software allows you to interface. It allows an interface between hardware and other applications. Okay, so what is application software? Application softwares are those softwares which run on operating system. Okay, it is running on operating system, and it is made for to solve some problems. It is used for specific purpose. For example, calculator, we have made calculator to calculate. We have made games for entertainment purpose. We have made paint to design or draw something. So there is a purpose behind every application software. Okay, let's look at the second point. System softwares are needed to run application software. If you want to run application software, system software should be there. If you want to play a game in mobile, Android should be there. Okay, application softwares are not needed to run system software. Means if you have a mobile and if you want to install or you want to use Android in it, if you want to use Android on a mobile phone, it is not compulsory that you should have application software. Again, I'm repeating this, for system software, okay, application software is not compulsory, but to run application software, system software is compulsory. Okay, let's look at the third point. System software run in the background as a platform. For example, when you are using WhatsApp or when you are playing a game on mobile, you don't know what is happening at backside, how operating system is running. Now also when you are using the Zoom, you don't know how operating system is working at the backside. So system software are background programs. You don't know how it works. Okay, it does it work very perfectly. While application program, it runs in foreground and interact with the user. Application programs are the programs which is in front of view. Okay, जो front view है, that is application software. You have to remember this. Okay, so system software always runs at background, while application software always run in front ground. Examples, system software examples are operating system, disk drives, etc. Application softwares are video players, text editors, etc. Now we come to the next slide, operating system. Very first point, it is a system software. It is not an application software. It is purely system software. Second, it is an interface between user and hardware. User can use hardware because of operating system. Third, it fills communication gap between hardware and software. It fills communication gap between hardware and software. Means what? For example, if you are playing any kind of game, you require, take example of PUBG or any kind of game, you require fancy gadget, you are using mouse, keyboard and many other hardwares. Okay, and you also have sound in that game, you have animation, you have characters, the characters running with guns, firing, movement of characters, everything comes in software. So can you imagine a game with only one of the thing, only hardware or only software? No, it has to be a synchronization of this both, a perfect synchronization of hardware and software, and that is possible only because of operating system. Okay, so the synchronization is due to operating system. So we can make a statement that it fills a communication gap between hardware and software. So you can look at this diagram, that operating system is a central coordination is a central coordinator between all the devices as well as application. It is connecting everything. It is connecting monitor to keyboard to hard drive to printer to mouse to other applications. So it is a central heart of the system. These are different operating systems which you know. You know Linux, Ubuntu, you're familiar with Android, BlackBerry, Windows, the most common one. Okay, and there are many more. The first operating system ever developed by Microsoft was MS-DOS. Okay, in coming sections, we are going to study MS-DOS in deep. Okay, then this was the topic which we have started with, types of operating system. There are different types of operating systems. Very first is single user operating system. Okay, this is a diagram for single operating system. An example is MS-DOS. As I said, MS-DOS was the first Microsoft operating system. Okay, so what you can see in this diagram, that there is one user, there is one system, and it has CPU. So user is sending input and he is getting output, but the user is only one here. We are not having multiple users here. There is only one single user which is dealing with system at once. So single user operating system was initial version of operating system. When operating system was developed, this was the first one. It allows only one user to work with computer at a time. Only one user can work with computer at a time. That's why it is called a single user. Example, you can state MS-DOS or Microsoft 95, Windows 95, what you can say. Then comes the second one, multi-user operating system. Now there are many operating systems which will start with multi. So you have to check what word you have with multi. For example, here you have multi-user. So naturally, when we say multi-user, users are many. There are different users. So look at this diagram, what you can see. In this diagram, you have terminal A, terminal B, terminal C. Terminal means nothing but the users. Okay, so there are different user, but processor here is one. Okay, so this diagram below shows the multi-user operating system, which is managing three people sharing the power of one computer. So three people can share the power of one computer. Multi-user operating system. Multi-user operating system allows more than one user to use same computer at a time or different time. So when I say multi-user, users are many for that operating system. Okay. Example, Windows 2000, Windows 7, Windows 8. These are the examples of multi-user operating system. Now look at this diagram. What you can detect from this diagram? See this, CPU1, CPU2, and there are number of CPUs. But then what is common here? Memory. So depending on this diagram, how you can define multiprocessor operating system? Just remember this diagram and look at the definition. Multiprocessor operating system consists of several processors that shares common physical memory. So you can see here, processors are several. So again, the word with multi is processor. So there are multiple processor, but then again, there has to be something common between them. So they are sharing common memory. Okay, now as there are many processors, naturally computing speed is very fast. So I can say it provides higher computing power speed. And as it is providing higher computing speed, naturally performance of system is increased. Okay, performance is increased because there are several processor processing is happening together with a greater speed, increasing the performance of a system. Okay, so multiprocessor means processors are multiple, but they are sharing common physical memory. Now this is multitasking operating system. You have gone through this many times, or you have done this many times. When you sit in front of computer, it is not like that you are doing only one task. You are listening to the music, at the same time you are doing something in Excel, at the same time you are calculating something, you are browsing to the internet, you are doing multiple things. Okay, so multitasking operating system. So this is a definition. Multitasking system allows system to perform multiple tasks which is handled by the same CPU. Okay, so multitasking system, again the word with multi here is tasking. So tasks are multiple here, but again it is handled by same CPU. Okay, tasks are multiple, but it is handled by only one CPU. You're listening music, you're browsing to internet, your calculation, everything is handled by one CPU only. So that's why multitasking. Now multi-threading, it is something different. Okay, can you see this diagram? This diagram is of what? This diagram is of a VLC media player. VLC media player is only one software on which you are listening music, and from this one software there are different threads. What do you mean by threads? Just read this definition. Smallest program is called as thread. Smallest program of a same software. Suppose VLC media player, this is one software. So what would be the smallest threads in this? Opening VLC is one thread. Playing song is one thread. Adding new song is one thread. Increasing volume is one thread. Changing jazz is one thread. So the smallest part of a program is called as thread. So if I talk about one app, one application or one software, different things what we can perform in that software is called as thread. Okay, so again look at this diagram that there is only one program which is called as VLC media player, and opening it, playing song, adding new song, changing volume, all these are different threads. Okay, and all these different threads are also handled by same CPU. So they are called as multi-threading. Here the word with multi is threading. That's why we have multi-threading. Now, what is the difference between multitasking and multi-threading? Here I have shown you this diagram in which programs are different. Listening music is different program. Opening Excel is different program. Browsing through internet is different program. But here the program is only one, that is VLC media player. And what work you are doing on that program is called as threads. That threads are different. Okay, so we call it as multi-threaded operating system. I hope this is clear to you. So smallest program is called as thread, and this operating system allows different threads of same software to run simultaneously. Okay, we can run all these threads simultaneously. Real-time operating system. The next operating system is real-time operating system. So real-time operating system is used when time span required to react is rigid and time bound. Okay, that means real-time operating system is used when time span required to react is rigid and time bound. We have to complete task in a given time when time bound is rigid. Okay, means time is limited. It is very important to maintain time here. No kinds of delay is allowed. Okay, delays cannot be accepted. We can take the example of traffic control system or air traffic control system. Okay, just imagine if we are not following the timings when planes has to take off. We cannot accept the kind of delays here. We have to manage time. So operating systems which are used in this air traffic control systems or in robots or in NASA, where calculations, where processing has to be completely depending on the time. Delays are not at all accepted. These kind of operating system is called as real-time operating systems. There are types of real-time operating system. First is hard and second is soft. Just read out the slide. Hard real-time task, one that must meet its deadline. Means we have a deadline and we have to follow it. Operating system follows the deadline. Otherwise, if deadline is not followed, it will cause unacceptable damage or a fatal error to the system. Something serious issue may happen. Okay, there may be a crash. Anything would happen. And soft real-time task means it is again associated with deadline, but it is not mandatory. For example, a robot has to follow the instructions, otherwise system is not going to accept it. Okay, but again, if it is not following, no serious damage would be there. But if air traffic controller is not following time, there could be a major issue. There could be an air crash also. So then that is hard real time. Soft real time, deadline is there, but that is desirable or it is not mandatory. Soft real time task, it still makes sense to schedule and complete the task even if it has passed its deadline. Even if deadline is passed, we can manage something. Okay, deadline is there, but if it's crossing it, we may try to have second schedule and we have to follow it. But in hard real time, there is no exception. There is no delay which is acceptable. Okay, so these are real-time tasks. Then comes distributed operating system. Now distributed operating system means systems which are far from each other, which are at the different geographical distance. Okay, but still they are communicated or connected through network. So read down the definition. Distributed operating system runs on computers which are located at different geographical areas, but they are interconnected by network. Okay, computers are at different geographical areas, but still they are connected. ATM systems are the best example. They are located at different corners, but when you are withdrawing it, naturally the transaction take place in your account is very perfect. It is not making any mistake. So such type of operating systems are distributed operating systems. Okay, so coming back to the types, once more we are going to just revise this. Types of operating system: single user operating system. Initial version allows only one user to work with the computer at a time. Multi-user operating system, your users are multiple, but the system and it is using a system at a time. Multiprocessor, here processors are several, but they are sharing common physical memory, because of which speed is more and performance is increased. Then we have multitasking, the tasks are different and it is handled by same CPU. Multi-threading, smallest part of a program is called as thread, and all the threads belong to the same app or same software, and it is handled by a same CPU. Real-time operating system, when time span required to react is very rigid and time bounded, where delays cannot be accepted. Traffic control system and robots are the best example. Real-time task is divided into two form: hard time, it means deadline should be followed or there would be a lot of damage. Soft time, where damage is not that much but still we have to follow the deadline. Okay. Distributed operating system, where systems are located at different geographical areas but it is interconnected and processed. Okay, so all these were the types of operating systems we have. Next comes advantages of operating system. What are the advantages of operating system? Very first, it is easy to use. You are not the one who is making it, you are just going to use it, and learning how to use operating system is very easy. For example, if you are buying a Android phone, you hardly require some time to learn about that. You will automatically come to know each and every function which is running on it. So it is easy to use any operating system. It is very user friendly. It is made very user friendly actually. That's why we are very convenient with any of the operating system, maybe Windows, maybe Linux. It is very easy to use it because they're very user friendly. We can understand it very properly. Intermediate between all hardwares and softwares of the system. Again, I'm repeating, this is very important point. If operating system is not there, it is not possible for us to run any app. It is not possible for us to use any hardware, existing hardware. We cannot use hardware. Last time also I had given an example that when we connect keyboard or mouse or our mobile to system, there are device drivers present in computer system, because of which these hardwares are identified and we can use it conveniently. So अगर सिस्टम सॉफ्टवेयर नहीं है, ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम नहीं है, we cannot use hardware or applications on that. Okay, so it is an intermediate between all hardwares and softwares of the system. Fourth point is no need to know any technical language. So you don't no need to have knowledge of C++, Java, PHP, Python. If you don't have any knowledge, still you can use operating system very conveniently. That's why children or your parents or your grandparents are very easily using mobiles, because even if you don't have any technical knowledge, it is very easy to learn them. So no need to know any technical knowledge. And it's the platform of all programs. Okay, it is a platform on which the programs are running. Okay, because of it, we can run any program on the system. So these are the advantages. So when there are positive side, there is obviously a negative side. So there has to be some disadvantage. So what is disadvantage of operating system? If any problem affected in operating system, you may lose all the contents which have been stored already. So just imagine, because of operating system, you are using your hardware, you are using your apps, you are using your hardware. So if there is any problem with operating system, you cannot use your program, you cannot use your apps, you cannot use your hardware properly. Your contents are lost. Okay, so that's why this is a disadvantage of operating system. Unwanted user can use your own system. So there could be some smaller security issues also. Okay, so that could be a disadvantage. They are very minimal. That's why we are not going much deeper of it. Advantages are many. Okay, so thank you all of you. I hope whatever lecture I have taken today about operating system, it is very clear to you, right? So you have to go through each and every slide once again when I share it. And if you have any doubts, kindly ask me personally. Okay, have a nice day. Bye.